Today I'm going to talk about soulmates. A common question people have is, how do I meet my soulmate? Or how do I know if the person I am married to or in a relationship with is actually my soulmate? So to answer your biggest questions about soulmate relationships, I have created a multi-part video series for you. And in this first video today, I'm going to share with you the 5 rules of soulmates, because there are so many misconceptions out there about soulmates, causing needless suffering and blocking you from being truly fulfilled in your intimate relationships. Plus, I'm going to reveal the single most important thing that you can do right now to create a soulmate relationship in your life. This one thing is so critical that if you do it, you will be on the fast track to experiencing true love, that soul-to-soul connection that we all crave, that love that fulfills every part of you. Let's get started, shall we? So first, and contrary to popular opinion, a soulmate is not the made-for-TV version that Hollywood would have us believe, right? A soulmate is not that person out there who can complete you, like this missing half of a puzzle piece. That is a huge misunderstanding that causes pain and frustration for so many people who are just waiting in the wings for this person to swoop in and make them whole. If you're watching this, you know that it really doesn't work like that. The best relationships are between 2 complete people, not between 2 broken halves. So second, a soulmate is not just one person. That is another falsehood. We all have many people who come into our lives that qualify as a soulmate. You see, on a basic fundamental level, a soulmate is anyone who contributes to your growth and expansion on a deep soul level, not just a physical level or an emotional level, but on a soul level. A soulmate is any person who helps you mate with your own soul. Soulmate. So the third rule is that a soulmate can be anyone. It could be a lover, like we usually think, but a soulmate can also be a sibling or a friend or even a stranger on the street. And I am going to suggest to you that your soulmate could even be your enemy, because on a soul level, even your negative experiences are given to you to help you grow as a person, to help you consciously evolve. And that really is your soul's purpose here on this planet, is evolution. One of the biggest reasons you are in relationship is to grow. I mean, what other areas challenge us like love does, right? There's no other area of our lives that provide us with both the highest highs and the lowest lows. And that's how we grow as human beings, right? We grow when we are challenged and stretched. We don't grow up in a bubble somewhere. We grow in the trenches of life and in love. We grow when our buttons are pushed and we are driven to greater depths. That is what a soulmate does for you. That's a true soulmate. It invites you to grow. It moves your soul to expand. It reminds you of who you really are. So when you first meet this soulmate, or when you're with this special person, you may actually feel all warm and fuzzy inside, like you're coming home, and they may seem to read your mind and complete your sentences and all of that. You know, that's the part of the soulmate dream that we all fantasize about, right? But the 4th rule of soulmate states that a true soulmate will also trigger you to bring to the forefront your unfinished business, those things in your life that need healing, like trust, abandonment, or anger, what are you bringing to your relationships that need healing? What problems are continually coming to the surface in your intimate relationships? Because those are your wounds that need healed. Indeed, the very role of your soulmate is to reflect you back to you so that you can see yourself, both your beauty and your wounds. A great analogy I like to use to explain this concept is that of an eyeball, right? An eye cannot see itself except in a mirror, right? You cannot see your eye. Your eye cannot see itself because the eye is the thing doing the seeing. It's the same with your soul. You cannot see yourself and your soul except in your reflection. And there is no better looking glass than your intimate relationships. Your intimate relationships are your reflection. They are there for you to recognize all the parts of you that need honoring and healing. So the next time you get into a fight with your partner, just remember this rule, because just because you have conflict does not mean that person is not your soulmate. Indeed, conflict is often a sign they are a soulmate, because it's from our anger, our resentments, and our trust issues that we can grow the most. It's from our deepest wounding that provides us with the biggest learning. Our conflict with our most intimate partners are our greatest mirrors. They trigger us and the parts of us that need healing. Now, the fifth and final rule of soulmates is that many people think that soulmates were destined to spend eternity together, but that is not always true. Often when relationships end, people are in so much pain because they believe that soulmate relationships are always meant to last forever. And most often, that is not the case. That's because a soulmate is someone who helps you grow, someone who activates your soul. You were in that relationship to learn what you needed to learn, and once you learn that, when your soul recognizes that growth, it tends to draw you out of that relationship. Remember, it's the growth and the learning that makes the person your soulmate, not the longevity. Time is irrelevant to the soul. So whether you were with that person for 10 minutes or 10 years, it really doesn't matter to your soul's purpose. And if all the growth has occurred in that relationship, then it only makes sense for you to move forward. I mean, some people stay in relationship far beyond the time that they should, and that can be extremely harmful to both people. So for those of you wondering if you should stay or leave your relationship or marriage, I'm going to talk more about that on a future video. How do you know when it's time to walk? So stay tuned for that because it's coming. Also, just because soulmate relationships don't usually last a lifetime, that doesn't mean that there isn't a special someone that you should be pair bonding with. In fact, there is a special person for you to team up with. But in order to do that, you first have to honor these 5 rules of soulmates that I've outlined on the training today. If you don't, you will get stuck looping the same pattern, making the same mistakes over and over again. It will probably just show up with a different person. In order to apply these soulmate principles in your life, here are a few tips to keep in mind. First, remember, a soulmate doesn't complete you. They complement you. You complete yourself. Your soulmate can help you grow, but you have to do the completing. You have to do your own work. You cannot expect someone else to eat your sandwich, right? Only you can do that. Tip 2, Since you can have more than one soulmate, you have to be on the lookout for those people who stir your soul to grow. Watch out for people who either move you forward or backward, because those are the people that stretch you and help you to mate with your own soul. Tip 3. Remember, a soulmate can be anyone, right? Even those people that we despise and who that we would never want in our daily lives. Indeed, some of our greatest soulmates are those who reflect our dark side. Tip 4. Because a soulmate is a mirror for you to see yourself, you have to ask yourself, what am I judging about my partner that is really about me? What is underneath my charge and trigger that my partner's behavior is reflecting? Tip 5. Soulmate relationships are usually transitory, right? So if someone who touches your soul comes in and out of your life, you have to know that there was a deep meaning and purpose to that relationship. So try to express your gratitude for the experience instead of lamenting it as a loss. Your soul is interested in your expansion, not in catering to your ego. So those are the 5 rules of soulmates. When you understand that a genuine soulmate is anyone who helps you align with your own soul, everything changes. When you understand that it's all here to help you grow and expand, the good times, the bad times, the laughter, and the tears, you will encounter your life in a whole new way. Your soul draws you into situations that will help you align with your highest aspirations so that you will integrate and love yourself fully. The question is, are you going to listen to what your soul is trying to tell you? If you start listening, I promise your life will never be the same. Your intimate relationships will flourish unlike anything you've ever experienced before, because you are aligning with your soul and you are seeking love from your fullness rather than from lack. You will be free to experience a love so true that it penetrates to the depths of your soul. That is what is possible for you. Until we really get this, it will feel like we are passive victims in our intimate relationships. Remember, suffering is optional. Pain may not be, but suffering is a choice. It's not the event itself that causes suffering. It's the refusal to learn the lesson. That's what causes suffering. I challenge you to take full responsibility for your own growth. Look into the mirror of relationship. Have the courage to see what is reflecting back at you and work on loving that. Ask yourself, how can this situation make me a better person? How does this serve my highest aspirations? You must be willing to use your intimate relationships as the fertile soil for your expansion. Have you done that? Have you grown from your experiences in life? Look back on your previous relationships and look into your biggest conflicts and your biggest betrayals in your life. Can you find the gold in those? The single most important thing that you can do right now to create a soul-to-soul love in your life is this. Commit to become your own soulmate first. Commit to mate with your own soul. That means eliminate all blame from your life. Stop focusing on what you are not getting from your relationship and life and start focusing on what you are giving instead. Start looking at your problems as opportunities for expansion rather than as reasons why you cannot be happy. Even if this special person shows up on your doorstep, or even if they are in your life right now, you won't recognize them because you are looking for the wrong thing. A true soul-to-soul relationship begins with you, just like all change does. It has to start with us because we all know the truth. We don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. We attract who we need. When you see it from this space, you begin to understand that your soulmate isn't actually that perfect person out there, but rather that person is perfect to help you learn what you need to learn at the time you need to learn it. And even if you don't ride off into the sunset together, you know that they are given to you like a gift to move you forward in your evolution in the least amount of time possible. That is a true soulmate. That's what a soulmate relationship does for you. It helps you grow. If you want to learn more about how to experience that deep soul level relationship, make sure you watch part 2 of this multi-part series about soulmates, because on that video, I'm going to talk about the differences between soulmates and life partners and why you actually need both in your life. As humans, we are driven to pair bond, and this special person plays a unique role in your life. So as you will see in part 2 coming up next week, it is possible for each of us to have an extraordinary relationship that touches the deepest part of us. And let me know what you think about soulmates. Have you experienced a soulmate relationship before that caused you to grow or that helped you evolve? And what lessons did you learn? Was it beautiful or was it painful or both? And let me know if you have a question or a comment about soulmates and marriages and relationships. Post it in the comments below. I will be showcasing and answering your questions each week. And remember, live each day as if it is your very last, and love without regret. I'll see you next week. Bye.